we need to talk about the officials here a little bit. And I'm not talking about the Scott Foster, Chris Paul gate.
No, no, no.
I am very tired of offensive players just getting to the line over and over again on nonsense plays. And I'm talking about we got to start allowing for defenders to defend. Man, there was a play last night. De'Aaron Fox got an and one on Dario Saric. He was straight up, man. And all Fox did was jump into him. It was an and one. Fox made a big bucket. It was nice. Shouldn't have been a foul. I've seen it over and over and over again across every team. Anthony Davis got one against Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has gotten several, but at the point where we're watching games where players are getting 13, 14 free throws a game, and it's not Hacko, whatever, like that's kind of surprising. Like it's almost sort of the norm that guys are averaging 10, 11 free throws a game and things like that. Like I think the referees need to start allowing defenders to defend. There's a lot of fouls. I can go through Twitter. I mean, just clips I pull on a regular basis. And it's a problem for fans. It's a problem for the game. Honestly, like the refs need to dial back how many free throws we're giving out because this is getting ridiculous right now. As an offensive player, you have all the advantage. I'm just going to jump into your chest and go up. And I know they're going to blow a whistle. And a lot of times these guys are throwing the shots up just because they know, hey, I got the whistle. I know I'm not making. I'm just to throw this prayer up or whatnot. It's across the league. Every team does it. Every team benefits from it. Every team gets hurt by it. But the biggest thing is it's hurting our game, and the referees have to do a much better job with this. And it's getting kind of ridiculous at this point.
There were 55 fouls called in the Warriors-Kings game in a 48-minute game. There's too many fouls called, but this one in particular, Mo, that you're bringing up, the throw yourself into the defender, it's almost as if the players are able to call their own fouls. It's them signaling to the referee they would like to shoot free throws now. That's the way it's gotten. You can predict these calls. If a guy dribbles 7 times, I know he's going to. Jimmy Butler is one of the worst culprits of this, or maybe best if he's, if you're a Miami Heat fan, you're rooting for him to do this. But the thing where I'm going to throw my body into him, that signals to the referee I get 2 free throws. It feels, it's more pro wrestling than it is basketball. Let's be honest here. We're juicing stats that don't need to be juiced. I just don't care about those numbers. Seth, you're sorry, I interrupted you.
No, first, no, I was just thinking of the pop CM Punk got over the weekend, but I don't know. I think it's sort of putting the onus on the referees themselves and wondering if this is almost if it's so uniformly happening, it's the rule interpretation that they're being given rather than the refs putting air in the whistle. And I think that's sort of been we've talked about this before, sort of the need for, or the desire for bright line consistency and letter of the law enforcement, I think leads to situations where if you know exactly what it's going to take, you can game it and then put you in a situation where obviously that's not a real shot attempt, but the instructions are that has to be a foul because otherwise Mark Cuban will get sad. I think it's as much that as it is like the individual refs themselves.
I just think we need to go back to the concept, and we've talked about this before. The officials are there to manage the game and not be the judge of everything. And I just think we got to start letting these. It's just the problem. Like everybody complains about the scores offensively. This is part of it. Defenses can't defend. It's a plea for defenders. Like honestly, like I would be frustrated as hell for these guys. There was a call on the perimeter where a guy drives and bumps into the dude and it's a foul. Like it's just too much where it is. It's a foul when it causes you to miss the shot or not even get the shot off or whatnot. It's a foul when it doesn't allow you, the offensive player, to get to the spot or whatnot, or there's just so many ways to do it. But the officials have to manage the game. They're the gatekeepers of the game. That whistle's a very powerful tool in that stuff. And I want the NBA to do a better job of it because I just want the game to flow. There was a segment
right
in the OKC Minnesota game where there was no whistles. I don't know what it was, 3 or 4 minutes. The poor players were gassed because they're so used to a whistle every 2 possessions. But like, it was beautiful basketball. It was like, yo, this is awesome. Shot making and whatnot and things like that. Like, the offense has enough of an advantage. We don't need to make it harder on the defenders. And I just think we're losing the plot here. And I think when we look at stuff where didn't Shea have a game where he got 18 free throws?
Oh
recently?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, Shea he's got a great whistle. But it's telling when people like NBA fans, when they do watch like international basketball. I mean, you saw this during the World Cup. We'll see it again in the Olympics, and it's refreshing. The game flow, Mo, like it doesn't stop. And if we're just going to be crass and say it's not about the game and it's more about the entertainment factor, buddy, it's much more fun to watch a basketball game if it doesn't stop every 2 seconds. And if I don't have to go to the review board for 5 minutes in the middle of the second quarter, I just, the referees, I don't want to know their names. Right. I like knowing so many referee names actually makes me sad to watch NBA basketball.